All right, welcome to another episode of the Crimson Mask Podcast. My name is Austin, aka Odin's Beard 43. You can find me on twitch.tv/Odin's Beard 43, along with Twitter and Instagram at Odin's Beard 43.
And I am the Shane Show baby, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Shane Show BB. And also, you can follow me on Snapchat at CPH298. I got a wrestling show this weekend, so follow me on anything, and you'll see it.
And I am Izzy, and I finally got Twitter. And thanks to that one random guy.
That is his actual YouTube handle, by the way. It's just not Izzy saying that
Yeah.
one guy.
He has been the only one to comment on what my Twitter handle should be. So it is now YouTube Old Fry. So I don't know how this works, so I'm assuming it's just follow me at YouTube Old Fry on Twitter.
Yep.
And yeah,
And
so
talk
we'll see.
a lot of shit.
We'll see how that name goes. Thank you, random guy, for that. So yeah.
That is fucking perfect, too. All right. Shane, did you have an announcement or plug to make?
Yes, this Saturday, August 10th, Zawa Live will be doing a show at Carroll County Fair. The entrance fee to the fair gets you in, and the wrestling pretty much is free with the entrance to the fair. They will be going from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. with different matches every hour. So come on down. It's a great time. They have a wonderful roster. I cannot stress that enough. And come enjoy it. You know, eat a corn dog. You do something with me. You know, even buy me a corn dog. Hey! But I'll be there. They'll be there.
Shane buy you a corn dog.
Yeah.
Also, next weekend, the 17th, is the season premiere for Zawa Live, and that is at Scoops in Oregon, Illinois. What's the headline match for that, Shane? I think you should know this. You're wearing a shirt.
It will be the Low Life, Old Coyote, Old Evil, Christian Rose, challenging the champion, Stumpy, for the Zawa Life Championship. Rose is wanting to get that back, and Stumpy doesn't want to give it up, so it's going to be quite the big fight.
So we will make sure to remind you guys next week also about that. But this is kind of off the cuff. I decided to plug that one also since it's a week away to let people make some plans to get there. That is in Oregon and Illinois. So this week in wrestling segment, the big announcement out of All Elite Wrestling was they actually had two big announcements. One was their next two shows, TV shows will be taped. One will be taped. The second one will be taped in Boston or live in Boston, and the third will be live in Philly. I don't know if they put tickets out yet or not. I don't remember actually. But the big kind of roster announcement, I don't know if these people are signed with All Elite or if they're on like a by the match basis. But they did announce that there is going to be a women's casino battle royale at All Out. The same rules as the casino battle royale at Double or Nothing, but they don't have 21 women on the roster. So they had this really cool little segment where Jake the Snake Roberts was actually a blackjack dealer, giving them their cards for the casino battle royale, and
which is funny because if you remember the Legends of Wrestling video, where you want 21, I got 22. It's like, ooh, Jake. No.
Hey, he can poke fun at himself now. He's all good now. Dude,
there you go.
That's a fucking turnaround story if I've ever seen one. But they did announce 3 new women's wrestlers, at least for that match. One of which is Jazz. That was a big surprise. I didn't know if she was still wrestling.
Who looks pretty badass if you've seen her.
Yeah. I'm sitting there I'm like, who the fuck is this? And then like it pops up Jazz. I'm like, holy shit. The second one they announced was Ivelisse. I know people that have watched Lucha Underground, and I believe she was on Tough Enough, right?
I think so.
She is a phenomenal wrestler. Like I'm hoping that she becomes like a mainstay with All Elite. I love watching her wrestle. She's had some great matches with a lot of men in Lucha Underground. So hopefully she sticks around. The first one they announced, though, was kind of a shocker. I did not know that this person was a wrestler. Her name is Teal Piper. Everybody better recognize that fucking last name. She is the daughter of Rowdy Roddy Piper. That was pretty fucking awesome. I'm really excited to see what she can do. I haven't seen any tape or anything on her, so I kind of don't want to.
I don't think anybody really has that I know of. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything out there.
I really don't. I don't think I want to though. Like, I don't want to search or anything because I kind of want it just to be a surprise and be like, okay, I know who she is, obviously, but I kind of want it to just be like, well, I just want to see what she can do for the first time at this fucking pay-per-view, at this event.
Right.
That would be pretty sick. My computer decided to go to sleep. So, other than that, those were the big announcements coming out of All Elite Wrestling. Then we will hit the WWE. So, this week on Raw, Roman almost died again. Samoa Joe was trying to get an apology for being accused for trying to crush him. And he went out and confronted him, and Roman almost got hit by a car. That whole segment was pretty dope.
Which is funny because we're going to kill Roman, so let's hit the back of his car.
Hey, that still looked fucking sick, though, dude. That looked fucking sweet. I'm not going to lie.
God bless Roman, though. He has a camera on the hood of his car. And I mean,
Hey, it's a
he just
dash cam.
wants to be safe when he's driving, I guess.
People have dash cams now, Shane.
And it's funny because Samoa Joe had that same look on his face, like when he loses. It's like that, surprised look on his face.
Oh, that was fucking sweet. Another thing that happened was there was a fatal four-way elimination tag team match. I don't know if I said those in the right order.
We get the gist.
Yeah, that match, to me, I thought it was really good, though. The Iconics probably looked the best that I have seen them. They pulled out some new moves and just looked a lot smoother than they have in the past, and that really surprised me. Let's see.
If you go back and look at when Asuka's coming out, her Twitter handle was what's her name, Io Shirai.
Really, they fucked that up?
Yeah, go back and look at a picture because I noticed that when they were coming out, I was like, I don't think that's who you think that is.
That's the wrong Japanese lady there, WWE.
Kevin Dunn.
Io's down in fucking NXT still.
Yeah.
Then.
Well, in that match though, I mean, we have new champions.
Yeah.
If that's what you're going with, I apologize for stepping.
Nope, you're good. I actually forgot that I was about to say that actually. So you got it. Go ahead. You got to say who the new champs are now.
It is Alexa Bliss and the I just brain farted her name.
Nikki Cross.
Nikki Cross. Oh my God.
The real Scottish psychopath.
That, they should. Yeah, I'm not even gonna give that idea. No.
Nope, don't do it, because Killian is gonna end up coming back up from NXT, and her and Killian are gonna be a tag team.
But yes, Alexa and.
No, fuck you, Nikki and Killian.
No, I was gonna say that they won the titles.
Oh, okay.
Jiminy Christmas! This is what I gotta put up with.
Because then they can do Nikki and Killian versus Seth and Becky. Because you guys heard Becky and Seth are dating. Becky and Seth are dating. You know that, right?
I heard a rumor, but I thought it was Roman and Seth was trying to hit Roman's car because he wanted Becky. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Maybe that's.
Seth did say the only thing he has though is wrestling. He never mentioned Becky. Like, that was me in the relationship, I'd be like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah, he went back there and got an earful after that. Speaking of that, Seth came out and got his ass whipped by Lesnar some more. They're really going to play this whole defeated underdog card for him, and now we'll get into our predictions. And then the big announcement was the contract signing for Ziggler versus Miz, maybe. So Ziggler came out with Miz and HBK in the ring already, signed the contract. They're like, haha, you should have read the contract. It's not against either of us. And then obviously everyone knew what was going to happen because they were chanting his name before his music started, and fucking Goldberg came out and cut a great promo where he just yelled, Dolph Ziggler, you are next.
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
One note about Goldberg. He looks fucking jacked. Like, I don't know what he did compared to when he actually was Universal Champion, when he was, like, slimmed down. But he looks big again. And that kind of made me happy.
Well, he's got nothing else to do but lift weights.
Yeah, that's true. he bangs his head off fucking doors randomly.
Doors and steel posts. And...
Oh my god. And then there was SmackDown. So on SmackDown, I got to watch Alistair fight, and that was awesome. Alistair versus Sami Zayn. That fucking knee to Sami Zayn's head was disgusting. And then he lifted him up with his foot and then did Black Mass. I don't like it when they bury one guy that's still a somewhat new talent that still gets a pop either as a heel or a face just to build up another guy like that. I don't like it. There's other guys they could bury.
I don't like him, so I am completely fine with it.
Yeah.
Hey.
The sad part is that both of them are off SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were going to like have them have a match at SummerSlam, and it just
what I thought. But yeah,
maybe there'll be like a randomly announced pre-show because there still isn't a intercontinental match on SummerSlam either. So I know we were talking about before. Shane thought Ali was going against Shinsuke. They haven't officially announced anything, so maybe they'll do it like a last-minute fucking match, last-minute announcement or whatever. That way Shinsuke has an excuse if Mustafa Ali wins the belt. Charlotte confronted Trish. Whatever. I really couldn't give a rat's ass about this. Like,
Women's Revolution.
I loved Trish so much as a kid because I was a teenage boy.
All right, move on.
And there's so many women's wrestlers now that can go a lot better.
It was a different time.
Yeah. But they're bringing her back. That's the thing. Like, it's the same thing we talked about when we talked about Dolph's gimmick.
This is her retirement match. She announced it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I thought I had seen something.
Dolph mocked Goldberg's entrance.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, I was fucking dying, dude. And right at the beginning, like all the crowd popped like crazy because they heard Goldberg's music, and then Dolph walks out of the fucking locker room, and I'm like, ha! I just lost camera, so we're good. Do you guys still see me?
No.
Yeah, whatever. We're gonna go.
We're on the fly.
Audio.
Keep going.
Yeah, we're going straight audio with me. Here's a picture of me though. It's gonna be a random ass picture.
There goes our views.
Yeah, they don't have my sexy ass.
Yeah, they're gonna go up because he's not. Oh my god.
And then Rowan and Daniel Bryan versus the New Day. It was a good match. What happened and everything. It was a solid match. They all showed what they could do. And then there was a disqualification, right? Or am I thinking of another match?
I didn't watch SmackDown.
No, I believe it was.
I think he hit him with the stairs.
I worked, so I just going by what I remember seeing on like YouTube and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, back to
We're
Raw.
great at our job.
Real quick, back to Raw. I forgot about something. A picture reminded me on my computer. The Fiend attacked Kurt Angle and put him in the mandible claw. So apparently the mandible claw is going to be used by the Fiend, and I'm fucking ecstatic over that.
Nice.
Just saying.
Somebody called that, didn't they? About a week or two ago. Didn't one of you guys say that?
Last week he put it on Mick, and I said I hope he. I think Shane said he put it on Mick, and I said I hope it sticks. I hope they just let it go with him. And then the fun happened on SmackDown where Izzy, you go ahead. You had a good saying for this.
Roman Reigns became Batman, like just full-fledged. Walks in that locker room. He's like, "Everybody get out," and it's like you just picture him, just put a cape on him. He just walks in. Everybody get out except for you, buddy. It's like, oh, and then he sits down. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna ask you once. Tell me who did it." And just the whole time, and then he just throws him around the room like he's a child.
Yeah.
and then Buddy just lets out like the most anticlimactic name ever. He's like, "All right, it was Rowan." It's like, what? It's almost like when Austin was hit with a car and they're like, it was Rikishi. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then they go back to the ring, and Rowan's just standing there like,
Was it me?
Was it me?
and then Daniel Bryan's just like, it's like, what's going on? And then end.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you had Roman looking confused. Like,
wait, Roman was confused? No way.
Everybody was confused. Everyone was just like looking at each other like,
But I will say the segment itself was really good. I like the way they did it.
Yeah,
that's the Roman they need.
Yeah, they made Roman look like a fucking badass. Finally. I told you I had something for that though.
Oh yes.
I don't like how it was Buddy. One of the most dominant cruiserweight champions that they brought him up to be on the main roster out of 205 Live. And he was putting on great match after great match. And now you had him be a little bitch to Roman. They could have done anybody else than him. They could have had it fucking be one of the Singh brothers or some bullshit.
Yeah, but maybe this will give him a little bit of a rub to where he wants revenge on Roman. And
dude, I'd be okay with that.
Oh, now you're okay with it.
Yeah, I would be okay with that. Hey, anything that gets Buddy Murphy more screen time, dude, I'm okay with. He's a great wrestler. I really, really like Buddy Murphy.
How are you, Mark?
Oh, hi, Mark. Anyways.
So next, Shane has a little bit on 205 Live.
The six-pack challenge, Oni won. It was a really good match. They had like a double, triple submission hold on everybody. It was it's a six-pack. They've never done it before on 205 Live, and it went really well. And that's pretty much all that happened. Maverick said that him and Mike are done, so it's now back to business, and it's time to bring back, more wrestling or whatever on 205 Live. So he made that six-pack challenge and only won, and it will be at SummerSlam, biggest party of the summer.
Hell yeah! And then with NXT, there was only really 2 matches. They were really pushing the promos for NXT Takeover this weekend, but it started with contract signing, which was kind of cringeworthy. There was some good spots, but a lot of it was just kind of between Street Profits and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. And then Joaquin Wilde. DJ Z went against Shane Thorne, who was trying to He was all pissed off about not being in the breakout challenge because he doesn't need to break out. I'm still fucking doing hand motions and shit, even though none of you can see me. But the match was outstanding. Joaquin, while DJZ was able to pull off quite a bit of shit that looked awesome because he's awesome. Shane Thorne, I was a fan of his when he was part of TM61, the Mighty, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Before he got hurt, they did some crazy shit. I like him as a heel. I think that's actually a good way to go. The horn that Shane just played, I was literally fucking crying laughing because Joaquin Wild, I almost forgot his new fucking name, actually yelled it out loud, did the fucking noise sound with his mouth during the match, and I was just dying laughing. And then Matt Riddle versus Killian Dane was supposed to happen, but Riddle was coming to the ring and got attacked by Killian Dane again. Threw him into the steel steps and then delivered a cannonball, and that's it. So maybe there'll be another surprise match for TakeOver. And speaking of NXT TakeOver, you like that segue? Right there, dude. Speaking of NXT TakeOver, though, we are going to give everybody our predictions. So we're going to start off. There's only 5 announced matches, and that's all we're going to predict on. We're just going to say who we think is going to win and by how. Like by submission or pinfall or disqualification or whatnot. And that's what we're going to say. I'll say this. We can say a little bit about one because Shane knows how I think the Cole Gargano match is going to happen, but we'll end with that one for TakeOver. The first match of the night is, the first match that I have listed down is Candice LeRae and Io Shirai. They had a fucking spectacular steel cage match, but Shane, who do you think is going to win and how?
I think Candice is going to win by disqualification. I think she's going to get hit by a kendo stick and then it's going to lead into TakeOver in November to a street fight or something else like that.
Is he?
I'm going to say Io's going to win. They're going to build a monster heel in the women's division since Shayna may, I think, be leaving soon. They need to build something. I do agree that a kendo stick will come in, but it'll be after the match. So she'll win by pinfall and probably have like a post-match attack, and that's what's going to lead into another few months of a feud.
Well, I think Candice is going to lose. I think Io's going to win by disqualification because I think we get Dark Candice coming out. I know Shane and I at least have seen a lot of the crazy shit she's done in the indies. I'm sure a lot of our viewers have. So yeah, I think Candice wins by DQ. Or Io wins by DQ, sorry. I think Candice goes crazy and goes nuts. Kind of like Johnny did in his feud against Ciampa. And then Shayna Baszler or Mia Yim?
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Mia, I think this is it for Shayna. And Shayna's going to chase the belt for a while, and then it's going to end up at TakeOver for the first women's War Games. I think. I hope Shayna doesn't get called up. But I'm going with Mia. Even though it breaks my heart.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with them. I think the same thing. Like I said earlier, I think Shayna's on her way to the unpromised land, and she's probably going to get her name changed to Baszler, and it's.
But they're gonna change it. There's gonna be 2 Z's instead of an SZ.
Yeah, And I think they're going to try to build for next WrestleMania to something with Rousey. But that's
I hope not.
farther down the road. But this one, yeah, Yim's going to win it by pinfall.
I have Mia Yim winning by pinfall also. I think it's going to be a great match. I do agree with Shane. I think they will have a women's War Games because Mia attacked What's Their Nuts, Shayna's other MMA friends, and I think that will lead into another War Games match. And that would be fucking awesome, so I'm okay with that. All right, so then we have the North American Championship match, the Velveteen Dream versus the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne versus Roderick Strong. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Dunne by submission.
I'm going to go Dream by pinfall.
I am also going Dream pinfall. I think Dunne will get called up soon. And I'm still not sold that the Undisputed Era won't be up either Sunday night or Monday. So I don't think they'll put the belt on Roddy to get called up. Granted, they have called up people with the belt before. And the match that I mentioned earlier, we have the Street Profits putting up their tag team championships versus the Undisputed Era's Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. Shane?
I'm going to go with Undisputed Era, just because I want to see Kyle O'Reilly do the guitar thing.
Yes, I agree. I think it's going to be Undisputed Era also, just because I'm not a big fan of the Street Profits. I think they need more time to do whatever it is they're trying to do. I personally think they're a cheap knockoff of Crime Time, just without the blatant racism. But, yeah, I'm going to go Undisputed Era.
I'm going Street Profits just because, like I said, I think Undisputed Era is going to get called up, but I do call Street Profits by pinfall. And I think UE is going to get called up. I like Montez Ford a lot. I think Angelo Dawkins needs some more seasoning. And I don't want to compare the two, but AEW has Private Party, which showed up and did some insane shit. I feel like Street Profits are kind of a watered down version of them. That's kind of the way I'm seeing it. And I like Montez Ford, though, is phenomenal. He can do some insane shit. And then we have Cole versus Gargano. 2 out of 3 falls, with the first match being a regular singles, the second being a no DQ, no holds barred, whatever they fucking call it this time. Because they all street fight. They all fucking are the same thing. And then the third being Regal's Choice. Shane?
I'm going with Cole.
Winning the 2 out of 3. Awesome.
Yeah, I think he's going to win the first fall. Johnny wins the second fall, and the third fall, it goes to Cole.
I'm also going to go with Cole. I wanted to go with Regal's Choice. That's all I was going to say. But, yeah, I'm going to go Cole, but I'm going to go opposite of you. I think it's going to go – the first fall is going to go to Gargano because Adam Cole called the first one. So switch it around, Cole win the second one. And because it'll be like, well, you said you wouldn't need weapons to beat anybody, but you used it anyways. And then the third one.
I agree with Izzy on that part, too. I think Gargano wins the first one. I think he gets Cole to tap.
Yeah.
And then
Cole beats the crap.
Cole wins the street fight because Undisputed Era interferes. There's no DQ, so it won't fucking matter. And then the third one is going to be Regal's Choice, which I'm predicting it. Fuck it. He's going to turn it into a triple threat match. Tommaso Ciampa's going to come down and regain Goldie. It's happening.
So you're going Regal's Choice to win it.
I'm going Tommaso Ciampa to take the belt in the third fall. Granted, that only gives everybody one fall, but that third fall is the final one.
Yeah, that is true, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
But the third fall is the final fall, so that's the one that matters.
And you know what? That's going to give reason for Cole to chase it again.
Yeah.
Being like, that wasn't right. You know, nobody won 2 out of 3.
You kind of have, like, bickering between Gargano and Ciampa and, like, what the fuck, dude, and all that shit.
That's if Gargano doesn't get called up.
Yeah. To 205 Live. That's why I want him to stay in NXT. I fear that so bad. But either way, no matter what, even if it isn't like a Ciampa thing on third fall, that match is going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty. Let's go to Sunday. SummerSlam. All right.
Biggest party of the summer, baby!
So, Drew Gulak putting up his Cruiserweight Championship versus Oney Lorcan.
Gulak by pinfall.
Same. Gulak by pinfall.
I'm going Oni by pinfall. I am a huge fan of him, and I think he finally deserves a fucking title because they wouldn't give him the tag ones. Trish versus Charlotte.
I'm gonna say Charlotte.
For you to say.
I need a drink after taking that pill.
I'm gonna say it's Trish. Just they're gonna do the whole hometown thing. Even though I think my gut tells me they're gonna make Charlotte a huge heel just by having her win, but I'm gonna go Trish.
I'm going Charlotte because the whole huge heel beating one of their biggest stars ever in their hometown and all that bullshit.
Take a drink. That was a pill hard to swallow.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get so much shit if Bailey watches this. Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler.
I would hope that Ziggler will win, but we all know that Goldberg's gonna spear him once right away, 30 seconds in the match, and 1, 2, 3 by pinfall.
Yeah. Goldberg by nuclear bomb. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm going Goldberg too, unfortunately. I feel like this is a no-win situation for the fans. For fans like us, at least.
Yeah.
AJ Styles versus Ricochet, putting up the United States Championship.
I'm gonna say Ricochet, flippy guy.
Nah, I'm going AJ, just because they're really pushing the club, and I think it's about time they do. So AJ's holding it by pinfall.
I agree. I think they're really pushing the club. AJ just signed a new deal. I think Gallows and Anderson just signed new deals. So I'm thinking AJ over Ricochet, and I'm actually going to go submission. I think he gets in the calf crusher.
Oh.
I think he works the leg because he's trying to ground the high flyer.
Yep, I didn't think about
that. Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, a.k.a. The Fiend. I love that so much.
Bray Wyatt dominates the Demon King and by pinfall.
I wouldn't say he dominates them, but I agree. The Fiend is going to win by pinfall. No.
Yeah.
Going to win by submission.
Yep,
Submission, yes.
There you go. I was fuck. You beat me to it, dude. I was about to call both scratches out. But the Fiend wins by submission. I think. Is he the Demon King?
I haven't announced it yet.
I don't think so.
I would assume he would because
you know what? I don't think he will be. I think that'll be the return match because from what I gather, Finn was leaving for a little bit.
Yeah.
So he'll probably come. You know what? I'm going to call it now. Fiend will be in the ring at the Royal Rumble by himself. Boom, here comes the Demon.
I'm telling you, I think they start a faction. And Bray does the whole, you needed to let me in, and you needed to let the Demon King in, or whatever bullshit, and Finn joins Bray.
They tried that with Daniel Bryan, though.
But yeah, Daniel Bryan didn't have the badass body paint. And
No, he had that janitor outfit he had.
Yeah. Oh my God. He didn't have the he didn't have the full gimmick already set up that people want. All right. Kevin Owens first. The best in the world.
There go our viewers.
Still better than CM Punk.
And if Owen loses, he will be forced to quit the WWE.
You didn't say that.
Yep.
Hell, you didn't say that.
Yeah. Shane McMahon over CM Punk any day.
Oh,
but
anyways,
I'm gonna fucking.
We're gonna fight after this show.
Oh my God.
But I'm gonna say Kevin Owens. I'm gonna say by pinfall. It's gonna be a clean pinfall match.
Yeah, it's gonna be Kevin Owens via stunner pinfall. That's what I call.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I think there's gonna be things that could get Shane disqualified, but he's gonna look at the ref and say, "I'll fire you" or some bullshit like that, like Elias coming down and trying to help him. But yeah, I'm going Kevin Owens hits the stunner, wins the match. I don't think did he resign not too long ago?
Who, Shane McMahon? I think so.
No, Kevin. I think KO re-signed or signed an extension not too long ago, so they're not letting him fucking go anywhere. All right. Bailey versus Ember Moon.
I'm gonna go say Ember Moon by pinfall.
Yeah, I agree. Same thing. Ember Moon by pinfall.
I'm going Bailey by pinfall, but either way wouldn't surprise me really. I like both of them a lot. I just feel like I don't think they're sold on Ember yet, but dude, that Bailey to belly that Ember took, not this week, but last week, was the best Bailey to belly I've ever fucking seen. She got up.
Not only that, but she really snapped the hips to turn. It was like,
Yeah.
holy cow.
Well, she knows she can't, she knows Ember knows what the fuck she's doing.
Yeah.
It's not going against fucking Mandy Rose or some shit.
I just think that Bailey given an opportunity to someone's gonna bite her an ass.
Yeah, I could see that. Or we see just a tougher Bailey. All right, Kofi versus Randy for the WWE Championship.
I'm gonna go with Kofi. I think it's a storyline that all these years by pinfall.
I'm gonna go Randy. even if it's just for a month. It's just gonna be maybe his last hurrah, and it's gonna be some shenanigans. But I'm gonna go Randy just to be fun.
You know, I think it's gonna be Randy also.
You're such a rebel. Look at you.
I am. You can't look at me. My fucking video isn't going on.
This show is going to be called Technical Difficulties.
You just came up with the title.
Austin's a technical difficulty.
Yep. I think Randy wins. I think it's SummerSlam. They want to give him a win. He's been doing a lot to just kind of put over some other guys late for a while. I feel like the Kofi thing's run its course. So unless they're gonna do a big title versus title thing with the club, I think Kofi's thing has run its course.
Right.
Becky versus Natalya in a submission match for the Raw Women's Championship. So you don't have to say whoever wins by submission.
I think Becky's gonna win by pinfall.
I'm calling disqualification myself.
God damn it! I hate both of you.
But yes, I think Becky's gonna win by submission.
Becky's going to win by submission and better acting because
Natty's terrible.
yeah. But yeah, Becky by submission. There's no way they're going to put the belt on Natalya right now. It's even in Canada.
Yeah. They better not. I'll be so disappointed. I'm going Becky, obviously, with the disarm her.
In fact, I'm going to say Becky's going to hold it until she faces Shayna Baszler.
I would be fucking stoked for that.
Yeah. Royal Rumble, I call it.
Alrighty. So those are our predictions for this weekend for NXT Takeover and for
Wait,
SummerSlam.
you forgot one.
No, I
The
didn't.
main event.
Yeah.
Oh, Brock versus.
Brock.
Oh my God! My computer went to sleep again. I was trying to remember it, and then Brock versus Rollins. Who do you got?
I think, and I hope, God, I hope that Brock Lesnar just dominates Seth Rollins. Brock Lesnar by knockout.
The reigning, defending, conquering, undisputed heavyweight champion, universal champion. I F that one up.
Yep.
Technical
It's
difficulties.
okay. It's okay. It works because you're wearing the shirt, and he fucks his promos up all the time.
The Superdome. But it's going to be Lesnar. I don't think it'll be by like ref stoppage or anything. I think it'll be a pin. He'll like F5 him 27 times and then call it a day.
I'm going Rollins.
Of course you are.
Of course you are.
By
Rebel.
pinfall.
Okay,
I gotta go with Rollins. I gotta go with Tyler Black, dude. I feel like they're playing the beaten underdog way too hard for him not to overcome. That's their whole thing. When they try to beat someone down that much, he has to overcome his fucking difficulties and whatever. So yeah, I'm thinking Rollins by pinfall. Obviously, curb stomps him 15 times. All right, so those are our predictions for NXT Takeover Toronto, right? They're in Toronto. I know it's in Canada.
Yep.
NXT Takeover Toronto and SummerSlam 2019. We will be doing this for every big pay-per-view, every takeover, every All Elite Wrestling pay-per-view. So that's this month. Holy shit, it's August. Here in a couple weeks, we'll have All Out predictions for you guys. That'll be a lot of fun too. All right, Izzy, you got something for us?
Yeah. So we had the honor of doing our first interview. I think it went really well. We learned a lot about this person, and this person is the Cardiac Kid, Bailey Bright, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we did.
All right, thank you guys. All right, welcome back. This is Austin, aka Odin's 43. Izzy.
That is me, Izzy. Sure.
Keep going.
Hey,
let's go with it.
Hey, it's the Shane Show, baby.
Go ahead, Shane. Do your introduction for who we got.
Yeah, we have a very, very special guest for this episode, and is the longest reigning Zella Live champion. He was 53-0 before he lost the title this year, and he is the Cardiac Kid, Bailey Bright.
What's up?
Hello.
Hey, Bailey, do you want to plug it? Go ahead and plug your socials and everything here.
Sure. I got a fan page on Facebook, but I don't really use Instagram and Twitter that much. But you can follow Zala Live on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Awesome. And this is the first interview ever by the Crimson Mask podcast, so it's very special. We're pretty good friends with Bailey, really good friends with Bailey, and
Kinda.
yeah, he's all right.
Yeah.
But just saying that if it sounds weird or anything like that, we will get better at interviews, and I'm pretty sure we will have Bailey back eventually. I know we got quite a list going already, so if Bailey will come
Honored
back.
to be the first.
If Bailey will come back.
Yes, be gentle. You're our first. Yes.
All right. So Shane actually said something. He said your nickname, the Cardiac Kid. How did you come up with that as your moniker?
Well, my dad is a pretty big Cleveland Browns fan, and their defense or something was their nicknames in the 80s or 90s was like the Cardiac Kids and whatnot. But so that's kind of where I drew it from. That's where I'd heard it from originally. But the reason I came up with it for myself was, I grew up with hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, which, long story short, is an enlarged heart muscle that overpumps blood and creates all sorts of electrical problems. And I developed mitral valve prolapse as well, where my valves touch instead of open, and it could cause my heart to explode. And strenuous activity's never been good, but it's never stopped me either. Wrestling is what I loved and what I wanted to do. So, against a lot of discretion, I did it and followed my dream. And it's working so far. And, other obstacles. I had a minor heart attack when I was 17, and I've had 2 heart surgeries because of this. And, I've always liked going out there and being myself, and it's gotten over most of the time. So I figured, why not make a gimmick and still be myself, and came up with the Cardiac Kid.
Oh,
Also kind of a little, tribute to my dad.
awesome. Yeah, so that's fucking awesome. And I feel like the best gimmicks in wrestling are stuff that is more personal, lets you be yourself and stuff like that. And
Oh, yeah.
I can attest, me and Shane can attest that you are yourself when you're out in the ring.
Sure.
You're 100% you, and those are the best kind of things. Real quick, I just want to point out that it isn't my cat licking themselves in the back of any of these screens. It's Bailey's.
Hey, Maggie.
Caught.
She can't hear you. She's deaf.
Find her.
Bailey, I don't know if you've watched many of the podcasts, but usually Dobby sits like right here and starts licking himself right behind me. And I got called out on Potato Aim by Bumpy, and every time now I see it right off the bat when it happens. Shane, you got a question for him?
Yes. Okay, you have had your beautiful sister, Lonnie, in your corner at one time. But also you had your roommate and best friend Dakota in your corner.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, in one of the biggest matches maybe coming up, who would you rather want on your side? And your beautiful sister or your best friend and roommate Dakota?
Starting heavy. All right. Lonnie's been in my corner once, and I won. And I've had lots of experience with Dakota, but I have lost with him. Not technically by pinfall, but that's a good question. He's got my best friend who I lived with and traveled with and all that. Been through more together. He got my own family. It's a real hard one, but just barely, I think I'd have to go with Dakota. Just because we do have more experience wrestling-wise together and a better wrestling bond from the traveling and the living together, so probably go with him. Sorry, Lonnie.
You're not getting shit for Christmas this year from me.
I'm still waiting on last year's gift.
So am I. No.
I mentioned before we actually started recording this that Bailey and I actually, I had a whole 1 day of experience actually training in a ring when I had a previous job and I switched shifts, so I couldn't do it anymore. But Bailey and I actually trained together for a full day. I thought I was dying, but I remember when we met at a party literally last year. So this was like 4 years ago that we actually did that. And then I think it was about 3 years ago that we actually did that. And then we met at a party last year and you didn't really remember. And then we talked about it was just a ring in a fucking cornfield. And
Farm.
oh yeah, it was on the farm, corn all around. You could see fucking cows and hear them and shit. It was intense, but that's fucking heat. What's the craziest place that you've actually wrestled?
Wrestled or trained?
We'll go wrestled. I know you've had some outdoor matches and shit like that. And
Yeah.
what's the craziest place you've actually wrestled at?
Well, we've done. Zawa Live did a couple shows in a dive bar called Gabe's in Iowa City. It was like just barely tall enough for the ring, and the rafters were like this far above our heads, and We had a little, probably 6 by 6 foot corner tied off with a curtain for like a 20-man locker room. So that was wild. But as far as training goes, I would like to add that Bobby Houston trained me in his laundry room while his baby was sleeping one day. Early days of training. I was his only student, so he just told me to come over, and we did some training in his laundry room.
That is awesome. Only Bobby.
Do either of you guys got a question? I got another one, but I don't want to take all the time.
Well, since I don't really know him that well, I'll go ahead and just start from the beginning. Just ask you, what got you into it. Of course, I'm sure you were a fan of wrestling, but like, what really got you to say, okay, I'm gonna do this.
Okay. Well, I got grounded when I was little and just flipped my TV on in my room. And first wrestling I ever saw was like John Cena versus probably Tyson Tomko or someone in 2005, and I was glued to it. John Cena was actually my first ever favorite wrestler, but what really got me into it was Shawn Michaels. He's probably my favorite of all time. And the match that I decided, like, this is something I probably want to do. I'd say it was probably it's a weird one, but the earliest memory I can have of, like, I want to do that is Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho in a ladder match at No Mercy, 2009 maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
Two of the greatest of all time.
Yeah. So when you decided to do this, like, did you just call somebody, or did you have connections somewhere to be like, well, I'm gonna go train here?
Yeah, I had no clue where to start. It was kind of like a pipe dream, and it was harder for me because until I started training, which I'll get to, I did not know that independent wrestling exists. All I knew was WWE, and I knew that WCW existed at one point, but I didn't know about, Ring of Honor or New Japan or any of that. And, I was working at Jimmy John's, and my boss was friends with the owner of Funky Monkey Wrestling, so he put us in contact, and I just kept bugging this guy and bugging this guy and bugging this guy, and he wouldn't answer me. It was Bobby Houston, the owner of Funky Monkey, and I just kept bugging him, and one day he told me to go to Black and Brave, and but I just kept persisting. Black and Brave, I didn't have the budget for it at the time, and I kept showing up at Funky Monkey shows, and I would help tear down and set up and raffle tickets and security and bell ringing and cameraman, referee, whatever I had to do.
You name it, you did it, yeah.
And eventually, like 6 shows in, he came up to me after teardown and was like, "Hey, kid, bring some athletic wear next time. We'll roll around a little bit." And started training in January of 2016, just under Bobby Houston, out at the farm or at his laundry room or wherever.
His laundry room, yeah. So was it like kind of like a shock to you when you first started doing it? Like, holy crap, this is a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, the wrestling world was way bigger than I ever expected, and there's way more to learn than I'll ever have time to, because you really just keep learning new stuff every day in this business. And I'm 3 years in, and I still feel like a rookie. So
You talk to the guys that are going like on 20, 30 years. You are.
Yeah.
I know Shane hit on it that you were 53-0 before your match with Christian Rose. I really wanted to talk about that match with you. I know we have talked about it, but I wanted to make sure it got on the podcast. Well, first off, okay, so for those of you who didn't know, this match was huge. Like, they sold out tickets. There was standing room only in the back of a Subway shop in Oregon, Illinois, and like, it's an awesome venue. I love Scoops, but it's not the biggest place. I remember Shane texted me, and he goes, "Hey, we're gonna do streamers. We're gonna do purple, and we tried doing purple and silver for you. I think it ended up being purple and black, right?
I think it was white, purple and
Purple
white.
and white.
Purple and white.
Which purple and silver and white are Bailey's colors for those of you who don't know. And then we did black, red, and yellow for Christian Rose. And Shane was freaking out like the month leading up to that match because you're one of his best friends and Rose is obviously his favorite wrestler, and we didn't know what was gonna happen. But when those streamers came down, like people have seen it in Ring of Honor and all these other promotions. Like, did that feel any different than the beginning of any other match, other than
Oh yeah.
what the outcome ended up being?
Oh yeah. When the streamers went, I had chills, and it's something that I learned about because I didn't know about like indie wrestling and what that was, but it's something that I learned about, and I was like, that'd be cool to happen to me someday. And I never expected it to happen like this early on in my career, because usually for like, if it's not big matches like this, it's retirement matches. But it was super cool. It's a super cool moment. Just because of everything that went into that match, the story, the hype, and it was funny because it was supposed to be a surprise for me, and so I told my girlfriend that I wasn't going to come out during intermission so that I could get ready for my match. And well, I changed my mind, and I did, and I went up to my aunt, and apparently the whole time she was holding these streamers like in her hands right in front of me, and I still never even noticed them. I'm blind without my glasses, but I didn't have my glasses on. But my girlfriend was freaking out because she thought I ruined the surprise. And I was like, what? And I never saw them until I got out there and they threw them all. So it was still a surprise, and it was awesome.
Hell yeah! Your sister Lonnie, she's been mentioned, and Shane were out passing them out just to everybody. We got a shitload of packs of streamers. That was a really cool moment for Zao Live, for you and Rose, everybody involved.
Oh, yeah.
It was an emotional moment for all of us, fans, everybody. It was a moment that I'm always going to remember as a wrestling fan.
Oh hell yeah! Going on with that match, I've talked to you, and the first thing I know, I mentioned it on our first episode when we were talking about favorite matches, of the emotion of the Ric Flair Shawn Michaels Ric Flair retirement match.
It's my favorite match of all time.
And I told you, because that match was back and forth, you actually played to your heart issues and stuff like that in this match, and how emotional that match was for everybody involved, and for fans, like with people that know you and know that and everything. We're like, oh fuck, is his heart going to go out and all that stuff. I remember the first thing I said to you, I'm like, dude, that match was like Flair and HBK. And that's the roller coaster that match had me on. And those are the best matches as a wrestling fan. Those are amazing.
Yeah.
And when you were going through that, did you feel like that match was just going exactly like you guys wanted to?
Well, I didn't really feel good about it until I watched it on video, because with my heart issues, and on top of that, I have sports-induced asthma. And
That was a perfectly timed call.
But on my entrance, I came out to Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue for the first time, and I was just trying to play up the, hyped up, and on my entrance, I kind of, hyped myself up too much and was immediately gassed. And I had so much adrenaline pumping through me that gassed me. And by the time we even got to the first move of the match, I was like breathing heavy. And I just worked myself up because of how emotional it was and how much adrenaline I had. So I felt like it looked sloppy when I was getting blown up in the ring. But when I watched it on video, it was still very emotional, and kind of played into the part towards the end where I slowly got more and more gassed and slowed down. And then when I, collapsed and had to catch my breath, it kind of made more sense.
Oh, definitely.
Was
Izzy,
this
oh,
Go ahead, Izzy.
I saw he was about to ask something a minute ago.
Oh well, no, I was actually going to ask, like, so in matches like that one or like other ones you've had when you're trying to tell that story, is it hard to tell that story, like in your mind, like you know what you want the crowd to say, to react to? Is it hard, like during the matches like that, especially emotional ones, to keep that going?
Yeah, at first it was hard for me because I was that, well, even though I just learned about the indies, like I was that like fresh indie kid wanting to get all the moves in, do all these crazy things. A lot of people told me that it's more satisfying and fulfilling to get the story out of it, get the fans emotional. And at first, I didn't really know what that meant, but they told me to, in between moves or spots, not just selling, but like eating those moments up and like playing into them and getting everything out of them, the in between moments rather than the moves.
Do you remember the first match where like it clicked? Like you did it and you're like, oh, okay, I know what they're talking about now.
Yeah, it was April 7th, 2018. Myself versus Rough Crossing for the Zawa Live Championship at Black Hawk Bash, first ever Black Hawk Bash, and it was actually the night I won the championship. But that was like the first match that I felt like we told a story and not just wrestled a really good match. He was the bigger guy, scary. I was the, homegrown, happy-go-lucky,
Young upstart.
yeah, and he whooped me good, and I kept
Yes,
coming
he
back,
does.
and then
Oh yeah.
he'd shut me down, and I had to fight from behind, and then got him eventually. So that was probably my earliest memory of telling a story.
Cool.
Go ahead, Shane. I know you had some.
Will us Zawa fans ever see Bright versus Rose 2?
I hope so. I really want that match. I don't know. I'm nervous about topping the first one because it's really good, and I don't know if Christian Rose himself, he's not the champion right now, but that doesn't mean we can't just have a rematch just to see if I could.
He's always champion to me.
But yeah, I really want that match.
That is the first okay in the Crimson Mass podcast, and for everybody else out there, that is one of Shane's taglines in real life, and it gets kind of annoying, and that's why we all give him shit for it.
But yeah, what was I gonna say?
I think you were going to lay down the challenge of anytime he wants to, you're up for it.
Well, yeah, but I kind of got I'm tagging with Dakota right now. We're looking at that, so kind of want to see where that goes for a little bit.
Hell yeah. So we are gonna start wrapping it up, and at the end of these, because we're at 21 and a half minutes right now. At the end of these, I want to kind of get into something that's very near and dear to my heart, and those are like the hardcore / death matches. Obviously, I'm a big fan of those, as seen on the first 2 episodes of the podcast. Yeah, eat a dick, Shane. So I have some questions that I'm going to ask everybody that we do have on the show, and it's basically just more of what would you be willing to do in a match that would be more of a hardcore thing. I've seen you in a fucking 4-way ladder match, and you did some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Emphasis on the shit.
But
But
it's a false alarm.
It was. Izzy get it now.
Yeah.
But would you be willing to do like bumps on attacks? I'm not gonna go as far as like fire, anything ridiculous, but like barbed wire bat or something like that. Would you be willing to do stuff? What would you be willing to do as a wrestler to put over a hardcore match?
All right. Well, here's my take on death matches. They're their own beast. It's art to them, and it's different. Like, we tell stories, and the mat is kind of their canvas, and their bodies are the paint with all the blood. But so they tell stories in a different way, and I would never bash that. So it's their own kind of art, but it's not for me. I'd much rather tell a story in the ring. However, I'm open to doing stuff like that as long as it's for a good story. Like, say, I've gone to war with this particular opponent a bunch of times, and neither of us has really come out way ahead of the other. We have this be-all, end-all, like, stupid match to settle it. Then I might take some bump on attacks. I wouldn't fuck with barbed wire or anything like that. None of those like tables you see with like saws sticking out of them and shit.
Oh no. Hell.
But yeah, I'd bump on tacks if the time was right. I've taken a kendo stick and chair shots, and I really want to go through a table sometime. I've jumped off ladders already, but yeah, some of the little stuff you see in death matches I might be open to if it were the right story.
You've RKO'd your roommate and best friend off of a ladder. That was pretty fucking awesome.
Yes.
There's another Dakota shout out. I know we shouted out to him a couple times in the last episode. Do you guys have any closing questions for Bailey while we have him on?
I got 2 questions. Yeah, they're kind of different questions. Your dream match for one indie person and one WWE person.
Okay. Dream match for indie. Like I said, I wasn't huge into the indies. I didn't even know what they were. So I don't know many big names that a lot of people do for the independent scene. I have to say Christian Rose again. And as far as WWE goes, I would have to say, obviously Shawn Michaels is my favorite of all time, so like him. But a close second that I have is Dolph Ziggler, and I actually draw a lot of inspiration in my own moveset from Dolph Ziggler in the ring. So I think that would be really cool if he could carry me through a match, because he's just way up there. Very good technically in the ring.
All right. And my second question is kind of a different question, but I never heard it asked to anybody. If you had to pick any tag team partner in any industry, any promotion, dream tag partner that is a female.
Female.
Okay. Intergender match.
Yes. Well, me and my girlfriend are both fans of Charlotte. But I don't. I don't know.
I
how good
almost
of
pulled out my headphones, leaning back.
Okay, you guys ready for the next guest?
I don't know how good of a tag team partner she'd be, but I would pick Bailey because we both are named Bailey, and because of that fact, I ripped off part of her comeback that she does on TV, where she does the back roll and the whoa back in the corner. Super cheesy, but it'd be fun.
That would be pretty
You
sweet.
handle that. You just never hear that question asked, so.
Yeah, I like that one. Izzy, do you have any closing questions for Bailey? Anything to close out with?
You know what? I'm going to be generic. What is the worst finisher you've taken?
The worst?
Like one that it's painful and it's coming, and you took it and it's like, oh,
Like
never again.
Like a painful, like one that actually.
Yeah, like one that you're like, never again do I want to do that, even though you know you're gonna. But I guess basically, who has the worst or the most painful finisher that you've been in?
Well, the most painful move I've taken was I took a straight up body slam on the floor like a cement tile floor, whatever it was, Falls Count Anywhere match against Judd the janitor, and that's probably the most painful thing I've done so far. But as far as painful moves, the first time I ever jumped off the top rope, I landed all on my hip. That hurt.
Oof. All right.
Here's one. It's weird because I like taking it. It's fun, but it can be a little bit painful. But the Styles Clash, it's such a fun move to take because it looks gnarly, and at the end of the day, like, I'm fine. But so last time I took it, I got a huge rug burn from the mat on the bottom of my chin. But yeah, I like taking. That's probably a good answer for me.
That's actually where my mind went first. I started thinking like, okay, what's the most one that you were afraid about taking? And my mind went there.
Tombstone.
Yeah, that too.
Tombstone freaked me out at first, but
There's a lot of trust that's got to go into that too when you're dropping it.
All right.
I got one more.
All right.
When are you guys gonna solve this Sour Saint issue in the Zawa Live?
You leave that to me and Dakota.
Keeping faith in you, buddy. Keeping your faith in you.
We're gonna save Zawa alive.
Yeah.
It needs to happen.
Where can everybody find you? What's your upcoming dates coming for Zawa Live?
This Saturday the 10th, we have a show at the Carroll County Fair in Milledgeville, and August 17th at Scoops Deli in Oregon is our season 4 premiere of Zawa Live.
And for sure, the 17th, I will be there. I think you're going to the 10th, right, Shane, too?
I am, yes.
So Shane's going to the 10th. Both of us will be there for the 17th, and we're really excited. What match do you got going on the 17th?
Well, funny you asked about Sour Saints because I believe it's myself versus Connor Hopkins.
That's going to be a good one.
Which is awesome. You guys have really good chemistry in the ring, and he's got phenomenal DDTs, and you have phenomenal, like, every move. So it's going to be a good match. So.
All right. So this is going to be the end of the interview. We would really like to thank Bailey for giving us a half hour. Bailey, do you have anything on YouTube or anything that people can go check you out?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube as Bailey Bright. I put up matches every once in a while, so if you want to go check a few out, go ahead and look me up on YouTube. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Our pleasure.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, when we wanted to come up with somebody, we have a few people set up for certain dates, and Shane was like, dude, we need Bailey for episode 1. And I agree. The longest reigning Zawa champ, we really appreciate you coming on to the show for us today.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you again, and we'll have you on eventually again.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks, Bailey.
Thanks, guys.